Hello, brothers and sisters out there. Welcome to the channel and welcome to yet another conference. As it pertains to spiritual warfare, you know, I think that as believers, we get accustomed to dealing with, well, we don't have to deal with, but we do have to defeating. We get accustomed to defeating, that's a better word, um, oppositional trash, And one thing, that you all must understand is on the battlefield is that spiritual warfare oftentimes is more psychological than physical. And by that I mean, we all know that Satan is a punk. He's not going to step to Jesus Christ. Just like for many of you, you know that your enemies are punks. They're not going to step to you all. And I know mine aren't going to step to me, because, hey, it won't turn out good for them. But anyway, but I feel like that when it is a verbal confrontation or when it's, based upon lies and deceptions and things of that nature, that's more of a psychological attack for you all out there. It's more so like, oh, well, trash feels as if, oh, well, if they put out enough lies, then they feel that they have coated you with some sort of image that has formed a deceptive illusion for other people. And they feel they have engulfed you with what they have to say about you and what they think of you. That is not the truth. That is not the truth, and it is not your truth. And there be those that know you all, that knows that, it's not the truth. But one thing you must understand um, about an enemy is that they, first of all, they have a mouth and they can say anything that they want to say, okay? But so can you, okay? And I think a lot of people just don't, you don't take advantage of the fact that for every lie, you can speak a truth. And the truth will always expose a lie, just like a light will always conquer the darkness. You understand what I'm saying? And you must understand in spiritual warfare, as it pertains to spiritual warfare, that the individuals that come up against you, they don't have lives, they're not successful, and if there are those that do have material possessions, oftentimes you will mean more to them than their material possessions, because they will be so preoccupied with what they feel you are accomplishing in life or what you possess in life, that they can't even focus on what they think that they have. And another thing you must understand is that people that are that way, they always think that you all think that way, that you all place value in material things and in money and things that are basically superficial and materialistic, when, to be honest, people that are really golden people and are really genuine, though they may have material things, they don't flash those things, because to them those things are not their God. You understand? So you could take somebody who, you know, they have this, that, and the third. But if that is somebody that sees their own value, they're not going to pick those things up and wave them and say, hey, look, 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 look what I've got. Look what I've got. Because those things don't really mean anything to them. Those things are maybe necessities, or maybe they are just wants and desires. But they don't define who that person is as a person. And when you're dealing with low grade, low rate, low class, scum bucket type people, they have to lean and depend on material things and on the material aspect of life in order to feel as if they have some sort of value. And oftentimes those types will feel like that they have some form of leverage, in your lives, because you're not flashy and you're not extravagant as far as waving things in people's faces that you have, because you understand the importance of yourselves. You understand the importance of these things are additions to your lives, but they are not your life. These things are things that, may make you look good, but you don't need them because you can look good all by yourself. You can stand all by yourself without superficial props and materialistic things around you. You know what I'm saying? So, there are people out there, if you have those things, and a lot of you do, you don't project the image of being materialistic because you understand that you brought nothing into this world, and of a surety you will take nothing out with you. But when you're dealing with people that are very materialistic and high-minded, and oftentimes those will be the ones that don't have anything. It's always the ones that, are so preoccupied and focused on what they think other people have, or what they think other people don't have, that are just, they're so depraved and so empty inside. And, oftentimes those are the ones that have lived a very promiscuous, whorish lives. And what they're trying to do is project who they are onto you. And, maybe they heard a lie about you, or they're the ones that birthed the lie or whatever. And, you all really shouldn't even fret yourselves over that, because when you know who you are, the light of your own truth will shine through, and there are people that will see you and they won't see the lies that your enemies are projecting. Because let me tell you something about projection, brothers and sisters. People will call you what they are. They will say that you are doing what they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? I had created a video about men and women, and I was talking about how men and women, can't even be friends nowadays without someone with a perverted mind implying that they're sleeping together. Well, the reason why those individuals that have perverted minds can see a man and a woman around each other and automatically put a lie out and say, oh, they're sleeping together, is because they know that's how they get down. They know they can't be in the presence of the opposite sex without indulging themselves in whoredom. And I know that I've had a lot of whores to come up against me, a lot of whores, and none of them mean anything to me. I would, by the power of God, have shot them all down. I don't do what they do. I've never done what they do. And a lot of times, what bothers people the most about you is when they know that you haven't lived the life that they have. So they will try to make up things, and project something onto you that does not belong to you. And if you all are the type of person that I am, I don't have a problem addressing anything that a devil shoots my way. Because if somebody tells a lie on me, I don't have a problem saying, no, that is not the truth. That is a lie. I won't say it in maybe that way, but I like laid back like that. I'll be like, oh, that trick is lying and whatever. But, you have to pick and choose your battles, and I can honestly say, like, especially for you ladies out there, my sisters out there, the ones that you've got it going on, if there is somebody that is interested in you romantically, or maybe interested in you as just a friend or whatever, and if there are a group of whores out there that are jealous of you, they'll try to go after that person just to try to intercept, to try to prevent the person, or you, or whoever the person may be, from becoming friends or being acquainted or whatever. You got to understand that there's somebody out there that feels competitive with you all. That's what you have to understand. You all may look at yourselves in the mirror and all you see is you. You just see an around the way home girl. But I guarantee you that there are a pack of whores out there that when they look at you, all they see is something that they can never be. All they see is a threat. You are like something that reflects to them what they lack. You point out their insecurities. Your very presence points out their insecurities. For you women that are in shape, if you have haters that are out of shape, you have just amplified their insecurity. For those of you out there, you ladies that are attractive in your appearances, well, you've just pointed out to your haters when you are around them just how ugly they are. And you know what, ladies, let me tell you another thing, sisters. That's another thing that your haters will try to project on you. They will call you all ugly. Oh, she ugly. Oh, he ugly. Oh, because they know they are. Okay? Do the reverse psychology on these sick-minded individuals out there. They are ugly. They have jacked up features. Their hair looks a mess. They dress like bums. Their butts look like it's in the front instead of the back. Look at what's talking. I keep telling you, ladies out there, and you fellas out there, look at what's talking. When people come up against you and they try to say insulting things about you, look at what is talking. You've got monsters out there calling you all ugly when you all know that you are not ugly. You're far from it. You don't even identify with the word. But something that is ugly will call you ugly. Something that is promiscuous will call you all promiscuous. Okay? Something that sleeps around with anything and anybody and anyone. Just leg cockers. Old nasty, dirty whores out there. Do the reverse psychology. Look at what is talking. And, I do that a lot as far as, sometimes I'm in situations where I look all around me and I'm completely surrounded by enemies. But, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't take me out of my element at all, because I'm going to be me regardless. I mean, why should that take me out of my element? I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, nothing, nothing, so you just have to be mindful of who you all are. And see, that boils down to self-discovery. That boils down to loving yourselves, to putting your foot down as to what you will and won't tolerate from anybody, And, Father God is really the one to fight your battles anyway. But I do believe sometimes he wants you to open your mouths, because, what comes out of your mouths will be the truth, And I know one thing that my enemies hate about me is that I always come back at them. I don't let that dirty trash get away with anything, because my first thought is, who do you think you are to try to congregate together to come up against me? Because, in your own strength, you know that you can't handle me. As a matter of fact, they can't even handle me congregated together, and I don't have a problem addressing any of them. I don't care who, and I don't care how many. I'm not afraid of anybody. And they know this, even the ones that I'm currently in the presence of. Oftentimes they know I'm not afraid of them. I am not afraid of them. So what they have to do is that they have to lie and put out lies and deceptions and things of that nature. Or they'll take a lie that somebody else has put out, and they'll try to take that and they'll try to amplify it and run with it and go to this person and that person, so that when I meet different people who I don't know and they don't know, when I meet different people who I don't know and the new people don't know me, well, there's always an enemy that will go to them and try to tell them, oh, she's this, she's that, she did this, she did that. And it's all lies. It's all lies. But what they are trying to do is prejudice a person against me, whose opinion I don't give 2 cents about in the first place. I'm just being nice and friendly. I don't ride off of what anybody thinks of me. But my enemies tend to think that I do, but I don't. What I am about is justice. I'm not about necessarily, whether if somebody believes this, that, and the third, because I don't care what people believe when I'm the one that knows the truth. But I don't have a problem putting the truth out there, because I am a person that is about justice. And I can honestly say there was a situation where there was someone that a group of whores, they thought that the person was fond of me. And actually, I believe they were the ones actually having sex with the person. And what they were doing, I know they all thought that they were doing it behind my back. But my thing is, how can you do something behind my back that I don't even care about? I wasn't with that person romantically or any other way, And I've never been with the person. So why should I care about where a man puts his thing that I'm not committed to? That's his business. That is his business. That's between him and whatever whores he's lying with. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, those types of whores, they'll get together and they'll try to say that you've had intimacy with the person when you know that you have not, and then whatever consequences that they have to suffer behind it, hey, that's their problem, not mine. If they don't have any better sense than to cock their leg for somebody who's not going to commit to them, then, that's their stupidity. If they don't have enough sense, to know not to cock their leg for dudes that are either married or involved with other females or live with other females, that's their stupidity. I'm not a fool. I'm not dumb enough to involve myself with a married man. I'm not dumb enough to involve myself with somebody that's with somebody else. I look at it this way, my sisters. If there is a man out there and he's involved with another female, let him be. whether if it be marriage or a hookup, a relationship, a situationship, a live-in situation, a codependency type of deal, let him be. That has nothing to do with you. And I feel like if you want to be friends with somebody like that, that's fine. But just be mindful of everything that comes with dealing with those types of males, because oftentimes they'll have a train of busted whores following behind them, and whatever drama pops off, they will try to reel you into it one way or another, even if it just means spreading lies on you all. So just be mindful of the company that you keep. Be mindful of the company that they keep. And another thing that I don't tolerate in my life anyway is that if I'm acquainted with somebody and they are in any way, shape, or form affiliated with my enemies, that person will immediately be cut off. Even if it's in casual I'm very, very strict about that. I do not deal with people that are affiliated with my enemies in any way, shape, or form. If it is not business related and they are in a position or an environment where they have to deal with them, then on a personal level, if I know that somebody's trying to straddle the fence between me and somebody that I don't like and who doesn't like me, that person will be cut off. And there will never be any type of affiliation from me again. I just don't play that type of game. And I'm the type of person also, I will only warn a person once. If I, was acquainted with somebody. If, I'm not acquainted with anybody like that. But if I was acquainted with somebody, and I would warn them once. I would tell them, look, let me tell you something. I'm very picky about the type of people that I affiliate myself with. And if I see you affiliated with trash, I know the birds of a feather flock together, and I know that two cannot walk together except they be agreed. And my sisters, I want to tell you that when you see two people, excuse me, walking together, or two people that are in agreement, well, who you know to be one piece of trash, the other person is a piece of trash too. And because they're like-minded individuals, because people can only walk with people that they have something in common with. See, I can't walk with certain people because I don't have anything in common with them. I can engage in small talk with some people, but I automatically know whether or not if that is somebody that is of my fold. I automatically know if that is somebody that, excuse me, I guess I keep coughing. I don't know if somebody wants me to shut up or not, but I'm going to continue to talk. But I automatically know who people are when I interact with them. To be honest, I really don't even have to interact with them. I can look at a person. I know what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? And so a person like me would be a huge threat to the enemy and to the enemy's camp. Because, like I said, you can't walk with Jesus Christ and be deceived. It's just impossible. He's right there with you the entire time. So, ladies, if somebody's standing in your face and they're trying to run game, they're trying to be a player, they're trying to sweet talk you, Jesus is standing right there, and he knows everything. How in the world can you be deceived? How can you not know that's a joker? That's a player. That's, this, that, and the third. And, that's a liar. That's a deceiver. I can look at a dude and know whether or not he lives with a woman. I just know, I just know, and I'll leave it at that, ladies. And I'm highly intuitive. So not too much really gets by me. Really, nothing gets by me, to be honest. I know who's walking with me. I know who stands with me, and that's why I want to greatly encourage you all. If you don't know Jesus, you need to get with him, because I'm telling you, you will learn a lot from him. And also, ladies, I want to tell you that past behaviors in people is a sure sign of what present tense or future behaviors will be. Meaning, if you all have ever been around the type of males that like to trash women's names and reputations and slander women's names and reputations, well, you know what? First of all, for those types, I would never involve myself with males that trash other females. I couldn't stand that back in the day. I remember there were certain males that were trashy, and I would hear them talk about certain females. And even though the female that they were talking about, she may have been a promiscuous female, but they would talk about the person and make fun of the person. And I just, what, that right there should have shown me, what type of person this was, that, who could just sit around another male and talk trash about a female, that is a low class, grimy, low rate piece of dirty filth. And oftentimes, you know, when you are around those types of males and they're talking trash about other females, the one that they need to be talking about are themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I've been around males that were like that. And at the end of the day, it was actually somebody that I ended up having to take down by the power of God, my own self. It was somebody that at the end of the day went around spreading lies on me. So I'm here to tell you. So, you know, a lot of times, ladies, when you first meet people, you don't know what they're about. But I'm telling you, if you really just listen, but a lot of times when you meet people, you know, especially if you all are real young, you're not really up on game like that. You're not really, you don't know anything about discernment. And, you know, you do know a little bit about discernment, but not to the extent as to when you grow older in life and you mature and become women, or for you fellas, you become men. Let me tell you something, ladies, especially for you young girls out there. If you are around males, and they could just be friends, it doesn't mean you're dating them, it doesn't mean you're sleeping with them or anything, you know, they could just be considered a homeboy. But anytime you are around males and they are talking trash about another female, let me tell you something. If you get involved with that male and you and him have a fallout, he's going to spread lies on you as well. Because that's who he is, that's his character. Because if he doesn't have respect for one female, he's not going to have respect for another female. And 9 times out of 10, males who talk trash about females, they don't respect their mothers. They've talked trash about their mothers first. There is a job that their mothers were supposed to do, and she failed to do it. And that is somebody that is not raised. They are not a man. They don't know how to be a man. You know, because I don't have any respect for males that talk trash about females like that don't deserve it. Now, I understand that there are females, you know, well, let me take that back, because there are certain females, I mean, they deserve to be talked about because they are trashy. And if a man talks about them, he's on point. But I'm just talking about, like, for you decent ladies out there, this is what I'm trying to say. This is only to the decent sisters. If you've ever had a male to try to trash your name and your reputation and spread lies on you all, and most of the time, if you are a decent chick, you have, because for one thing, they're mad. A lot of these males are mad because you won't sleep with them, you know, or they're mad because, you know, you peeped their game and wouldn't get with them or whatever, you know. There's nothing new under the sun. But if you are, I'm talking to the decent ladies. If you've had a male to try to slander your names or have slandered your names, you know, 9 times out of 10, he slandered his mama first. Okay? So when you're dealing with those types of males who, you know, they have an issue with their mothers, they'll have an issue with you. And I'm only talking to the decent chicks. I'm not talking to no whores out there. So anyway, yeah, that's what's up. You know, just stay true to yourselves and stay on point, stay sober, remain vigilant, and, you know, hey, stand your ground. I don't care who you're up against or who's coming up against you. Stand your ground. And I know for me, personally, my sisters, I don't care who don't like me. I could care less. I don't care. I'm living my life. I'm minding my business. I'm doing my thing. And I'm keeping people out of my life and out of my business, you know. And if I were to date, no one would know. If I was to marry, nobody would know. And that's the way it is. You know, I keep my life very private like I always have. I can honestly say that a lot of times you can be a private person, but if you have toxic people around you, a lot of times you're not even realizing that they are around you and they're acting like, oh, they're just hanging around you to hang around you. But what they're really doing is monitoring your lives. And that's one thing I realized, because I didn't realize how important I was to a lot of people until I came up under intense spiritual warfare. I did not realize how many people were obviously obsessed with me. And that's when I really realized, oh, wow, it really is about me. You know, meaning, you know, you really are that it chick. And that's what I'm saying to a lot of you ladies out there. You all really are that it chick. And you didn't even know it. You were actually the last to know, you know, because I had no idea that I meant so much to so many people, and that so many people were curious about my life. And a lot of these people are people that, you know, we all attended the same high school, and I didn't like them then, and I don't like them now. And I, you know, had nothing to do with them. And even if it were some that I was around or acquainted with, I don't associate with those people. You know, I mean, they're nothing to me. but I didn't realize that I was so important to people throughout the years, whether male or female. I didn't realize I was so important and that I had made such a great impact in their lives, and that I was so unforgettable, and that they were just so obsessed with me and my life, or who I was dating or involved with, or whether or not if I had children or not, or whether or not where I lived and where I worked and what I did for a living. And they were so obsessed with my bank account and what was in it and what I looked like and what I wore and what my style was and what my swag was. I had no idea that so many people that I don't give 2 cents about, to put it nicely, I was thinking about something else, that I don't give 2 cents about. I had no idea that I was so important to them. But I found out. And so now that I found out, I'm going to play my hand to the best of my ability, okay? And I'm going to rub it all in their faces. And that's what you have to do. You understand? I'm telling you, that's what you have to do. When you come to the realization that you have always had psychotic people around you, even though you were not friends with them and you were not in association with them. For many of you, if you analyze your lives, go all the way back to your high school days. You've always had psychotic people around you. And something that comes to mind is this. I can remember back when I was in high school, there was a certain female. This whore and I, we couldn't stand each other. We absolutely could not stand one another. We have never liked each other. But the thing about it is, that whore, she didn't mean anything to me. I never acknowledged her. I would always ignore her. She was the type of person that wanted a lot of attention from other people. So she would talk loud and, she would try to pick at me and make fun of me on the low and things of that nature. And I would just turn my nose up to her and ignore her. And do you know you can hurt a person worse turning your nose up to them and ignoring them, because they are speaking indirectly about you to other people, other mockers, because they don't like you. But anyway, this tramp, other people would all seem to flock to her and listen to her. I never did, because I always knew the whore was beneath me. But we could not stand one another. And there was this other person that I used to talk to on the phone, and we would just call each other after like school would turn out at 3:00 p.m. So I would get home. I would come home, and I would, you always have that one person that you call and talk to and chit chat about whatever, just whatever. And the person that I could not stand, the one who wanted all the attention, the person that I would call on the phone told me that whore had called her and said, "What did I say about her?" And when she said that, I didn't say anything. I don't think. I don't remember, so many years ago. But my thought was, who did this whore think that she was? To think that she was worth me talking about her, thinking about her, or concerning myself with anything as it pertains to her. I mean, to be honest, I got to tell you all. I'm thinking, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you would even be worth being my conversation? And years later, when a lot of this spiritual warfare had popped off, when a lot of my enemies had come together to come up against me and they couldn't win, that particular whore bounced her way into a place that I was working at, bounced in, and then bounced out. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with these tramps that are following me all the way from high school days? And I looked and I'm thinking, I knew she wanted me to see her, but I'm thinking, why? I'm here, I'm working, I'm clocking dollars. And you are bouncing around in my workplace and bouncing back out. And I already know what you're doing, but do you know how many years ago high school has been? And you still can't get over me? You've got a psychological problem, Trick. That's the only thing I could tell somebody like that. So my sisters, my point is this. You all out there that may be experiencing spiritual warfare, you better take the compliment. You better take the compliment, my sisters, because you are important to somebody, because there is somebody out there that cannot get over you. You understand what I'm saying? And with that said, God bless you all. Until next time. Bye-bye.